Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Alexis. Bellino on if there are red flags with Janssen. Why she split from ex-Jim Bellino. A tease. Plus explains staying friends with Tamra after she screwed me. Alexis Bellino. Addressed if there are red flags in her relationship with fiancé Janssen. And shared why she split with her ex-husband Jim Bellino. The Real Housewives of Orange County alum also hinted at when Tamra Judge screwed me. And revealed why she stayed friends with her last season. Tamra seemingly shaded Alexis after fans started slamming Alexis and John Shannon Beater's ex. But years before their controversial engagement, Alexis was married to Jim, who once sued Tamra and Shannon for defamation. During Alexis' first stint on RHOC, she famously said of Jim, "God is my savior. My husband is my king." On Vicki Gunvalson's "My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast," Alexis discussed her relationship with John. "Everybody thought John was so bad and all these things. He has not shown one red flag," said Alexis. "Not even a yellow or an orange or anything that's in the red family. Like, not even any. It's all green. We have had arguments. We have had a couple of hard discussions," she continued. "But we don't fight." Vicki then offered her own perspective, recalling her dramatic relationship with ex-Brooks Ayers. "When I was in love with Brooks, the world hated him, hated me, said I was in on a cancer scam," said Vicki. "I loved him. And it was horrible what the cast did, stating that I was in on something." That was Megan Edmonds who started that whole S***T show. "When you were with your husband, Jim, you were like, he's my man. I'm gonna protect him. He's my man. I'm gonna serve him as a biblical wife," recalled Vicki of Alexis' past marriage. "And I loved that about you. A very, faithful wife." Alexis added that she and Vicki had many talks about that. "Up until the very last day I filmed that show on season 8, I never thought I would get a divorce. I was gonna hang in there, I did tell myself, until the kids were 16, she said. "I did say, if things can't change, I'm gonna make it till they're 16. I needed them to have a car. The show ended for me and then things kept spiraling down. And we were in therapy constantly. We weren't going anywhere better. And then it started to become apparent that maybe we will be better apart." But she said they tried to do everything amicable. Why? At one point in the podcast, Alexis recalled her past drama with Tamra. "Tamra and I have gotten so deep and so down there. She kind of screwed me a little bit on one of the scenes," said Alexis. "But that girl stood by my side when I had to turn comments off and I was getting death threats." "And you also say, 'I forgive you.' And she's like, 'Yeah, I was in a hole to you.' She admitted it," Alexis continued. "And then once we talked it through, it was like, 'I get where you were coming from.'" Addressing Tamra, Vicki added, "Just don't do it again. There's TV Tamra and then there's a real Tamra," said Vicki. "TV Tamra does a lot for the TV show, and it does create drama," Alexis commented. "The only difference I see is that the camera Tamra tries to move the storyline forward because she's like, 'We're here to do a job.' She gets that reality TV is a job. No one wants to hear about Janssen and Alexis Bellino forever. Move it forward." She gets that. Alexis Bellino is no stranger to public scrutiny, complicated romances, or friendships laced with betrayal. After years away from center stage, she's re-entering the spotlight with renewed confidence and a new romance everyone's watching closely. In a candid conversation, Alexis peeled back the curtain on her relationship with Janssen, the dissolution of her marriage to Jim Bellino, and how she managed to stay friends with Tamra Judge despite feeling screwed by her former co-star. What emerges is a woman who has been tested, transformed, and is surprisingly unbothered by the noise that used to define her. Dating in the public eye, is Janssen a red flag or a fresh start? When Alexis Bellino stepped out with Janssen, the once longtime partner of Shannon Beater, the internet nearly combusted. The timing, the crossover, and the emotional history involved sparked instant speculation. Was this a revenge rebound? A Bravo-fueled PR spark? Or something real? Alexis insists it's the latter. "I'm not blind," she said when asked if she sees any red flags. "Everyone wants to know what I'm ignoring or overlooking because they assume drama comes with the territory. But I've done enough self-work to spot the warning signs. And with John, I don't feel the need to make excuses, defend bad behavior, or negotiate my peace." She admits that stepping into a relationship with someone fresh out of a high-profile split could easily raise eyebrows. "People love to assign red flags for you," she said with a laugh. "They see headlines and assume chaos. But I'm not stepping into anyone's leftover zyme, stepping into my own choice." Alexis is quick to assert that she won't repeat old patterns. "If there's one thing I learned from my marriage and divorce, it's that ignoring the signs costs you more in the long run. I don't pretend not to see things anymore. If something doesn't align with who I am now, I address ITR. I walk away." Still, she acknowledges the shadow of Shannon Beater looms over public perception. "It's not lost on me that people are comparing timelines and feelings. But I don't live for other people's narratives. John and I connect where we are now, not where he was with someone else." Why she really split from Jim Bellino. It wasn't one moment hit, was a slow unraveling. Alexis has been asked 1,000 times why her marriage to Jim Bellino ended. The short answer, it was complicated. The long answer, it was overdue. Everyone assumed we had that perfect Orange County marriage, big house, kids, businesses, glam vacations, she recalled. But behind the scenes, it stopped being a partnership. We were functioning more as co-CEOs of a life than a couple in a marriage. She doesn't pinpoint a dramatic breaking point. Instead, she describes the wear and tear that happens when emotional connection fades. It was a slow unraveling. You start compromising your voice. You start pretending you're happy because it's easier than admitting you're not. Then one day, the pretending feels louder than the love. Alexis says, "Motherhood, fame, and pressure all accelerated the disconnect. I was changing, and I think Jim was comfortable with how things were. But I couldn't live in a beautiful cage. It was expensive emotionally, not just financially." The split wasn't clean, but she no longer dwells on the fallout. What she emphasizes instead is the lesson. Leaving wasn't failure. Staying silent in a life that didn't fit anymore, that would have been the failure. Today, she maintains a civil co-parenting relationship with Jim. "We're not best friends, but we're not enemies. We both rebuilt our lives, and that's allowed the dust to settle." Tamra Judge, from betrayal to boundaries and back again of all the relationships Alexis has navigated. None is more surprising than her renewed friendship with Tamra Judge. Their history once read like a cautionary tale of Housewives loyalty gone wrong. Lawsuits, alliances, public digs, nothing was off limits. "She screwed me," Alexis admitted without hesitation. "I'm not sugarcoating it. There were moments where her actions directly hurt me, both publicly and personally. And I carried that with me for a long time." But time and perspective have shifted the tone. When you step out of the Housewives' hamster wheel, you see things differently, she said. Not everything was malicious. Some things were performative. Some were insecurities. Some were just the price of the world we were in. Forgiving Tamra didn't happen overnight. It required boundaries, maturity, and a willingness to let go of old static. She reached out. I listened. I didn't forget what happened, but I realized I didn't need to stay anchored to it. Alexis also acknowledges Tamra's growth. "She surprises me. She owns things more than she used to. And I think we both got tired of the energy it took to stay mad." Now, they're in an unexpected but workable, place-friendly, sometimes supportive, and no longer fueled by rivalry. You can say someone screwed you and still leave the door open for redemption. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you done carrying other people's damage. The Alexis Bellino of today, softer, stronger. And still standing, there's a notable shift in how Alexis speaks about her life now. She's not defensive. She's not trying to rewrite the past or play martyr. She's simply done letting other people's perceptions dictate her piece. "I've been the villain, the punchline. The pretty face, the target all of it, she said. But I've also been the woman who survived a painful divorce, raised 3 kids, rebuilt her career, and learned to love again without needing approval. As for the renewed public attention flaring around her and John Janssen, she's unbothered. If people want to talk, let them talk. I'm not hiding. I'm not out here doing damage control. I'm living. The Alexis of a decade ago might have worried about being misrepresented. The Alexis of today doesn't perform for cameras she can't see. You reach a point where defending yourself feels like handing people evidence they didn't ask for. I choose silence when the truth doesn't need an audience. But don't mistake her calm for passivity. I don't shrink anymore. I don't avoid confrontation. I don't smile through disrespect. I speak up or I step out.